Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into this absolutely incredible procedure that can literally restore movement to paralyzed limbs. It's called nerve transfer surgery, and believe me, it is a total game changer. But, and this is a big but, it's not some simple magic fix. It's really a story about where this amazing science meets an even more amazing human journey of recovery. But to really get a handle on this, we've got to start with the human side of things. Because as mind-blowing as the science is, this is really a story about the complex, tough, and deeply personal reality of what it takes to recover.
And this is the fundamental question, right? After a really catastrophic injury, maybe to the spinal cord or a major nerve, that connection between the brain and a muscle is just gone. It's severed. So the question for everyone involved, surgeons and patients, is can we actually get that connection back?
Okay, let's get into it. To really appreciate the solution, we first have to understand the problem. I mean, why can't a damaged nerve just heal itself? It all boils down to a race against the clock. See, a nerve can regrow, but man, it is slow. We're talking millimeters a day. So if you have a bad injury way up in your arm, that signal has to travel a really, really long way to get to all those tiny, precise muscles in your hand. And the hard truth is, long before the signal ever arrives, those muscles, well, they've been starved for that connection. They just atrophy and die. And that means a permanent loss of function. So if that original pathway is just too long to repair in time, surgeons came up with this incredible biological workaround. Basically, they don't fix the old wire. They install a whole new one. Think of it like a damaged electrical cable that runs all the way from a power station to a house. The break is right near the station, and that cable is like a mile long. You just can't wait for it to be repaired. But what if there's another perfectly good power line that runs right past the house, maybe one that's just powering something less important, like a garden shed? And that is the core idea of a nerve transfer. Surgeons find a healthy, working donor nerve that's close to the paralyzed muscle. They then basically unplug it from its original, less critical job and reroute it, creating a much, much shorter pathway to turn the lights back on. So, and this is the key takeaway, it's not about fixing the original nerve. It's a complete rewiring job. You're borrowing a nerve the body can afford to spare and giving it a brand new, more important assignment. And that move dramatically shortens the distance that nerve has to grow. So, how in the world does this actually happen in the operating room? Let's take a peek at what this microscopic rewiring job actually looks like. The surgery itself is incredibly precise. It's microsurgery. Surgeons first have to carefully find and isolate the healthy donor nerve and the recipient nerve, the one that leads to the paralyzed muscle. Then comes the most critical part, the coaptation. That's just a fancy term for joining the two nerve ends together. And for this whole thing to work, a few things are absolutely non-negotiable. The donor nerve obviously has to be healthy, and it has to come from a muscle we can function without. You need a good number of nerve fibers, or axons, in that donor nerve. But maybe most important of all, that connection has to be completely tension-free. Any stress on that repair, and it can just fail. A single nerve transfer can take around 2 hours. But, and think about this, a patient might need to get multiple functions back, like bending their elbow, opening their hand, and closing their hand. So they often have to go through several of these procedures, sometimes on both arms. The surgery really is just the beginning. The real journey starts after that, and it is a marathon of recovery, one that's filled with these incredible gains, but also some very, very real challenges. And the results? They can be absolutely dramatic. Just look at this. This is data from one study on a specific type of hand surgery. Before the operation, right, the average patient had a pinch strength of just over 2 pounds. That's not a lot. But afterwards, it shot up to almost 14 pounds. We're talking a more than 6-fold increase in strength. That's just incredible. And those numbers, they mean everything. This isn't just about getting stronger, it's about getting your independence back. It's the ability to do all those little daily things that so many of us take for granted, from using a fork to just picking up your cell phone. But when you listen to patients' stories, you get a much fuller picture. The successes are completely life-changing, like for Ainsley, who can now drive a modified car. But the realities of recovery are so intense. It can mean temporarily losing other functions, years of grueling rehab, and sometimes these painful nerve sensations that one patient described as hitting your funny bone, but times 100. And sometimes there are these unexpected trade-offs. Dan, who we heard from at the very beginning, talked about how after years of living with his injury, he'd adapted. He learned new ways to do things. And the surgery, while it gave him brand new abilities, it also kind of took away some of the functional strength he'd worked so hard to develop. And that recovery just takes time. It's this slow, gradual process of nerves waking back up. The very first signs of movement in the triceps might show up around 7 months. The fingers can take a full year. And strength can just keep getting better for up to 4 years before the results are considered, final. It is truly a marathon, not a sprint. So where is this amazing technology going next? Well, the same basic ideas of rewiring are now being used to tackle completely different problems, way beyond just paralysis. Nerve transfers are now being used to restore shoulder function after really complex injuries, even for complications from spine surgery. But one of the most exciting new frontiers is using the same technique not to restore movement, but to prevent pain. It's a procedure called targeted muscle reinnervation, or TMR. So after an amputation, a cut sensory nerve has nowhere to go. It can ball up and form this incredibly painful bundle of nerve endings called a neuroma. With TMR, surgeons take that cut nerve and plug it into a nearby motor nerve, giving it a new job and a place to grow. And this can dramatically reduce not just stump pain, but also that awful phantom limb pain. From giving someone back their hand grasp to preventing chronic pain, nerve transfer surgery is just fundamentally changing what's possible. It's a field that's all about making new connections, which leaves you wondering what new circuits and what new hope for patients might be just around the corner.